we had the government of New Zealand on TV saying that they did not force anybody to take the vaccine and that it was voluntary. We actually had Trudeau come out and say the same thing. We also had Fauci come out and say the same things. And I was thinking, like, why are they all coming out right now and saying that they didn't mandate the vaccine last time and they didn't mandate masks, which we know to be false? There's only two reasons I can think of as to why they would pretend they didn't do this. I said this about Trump. I said they're going to use his fucking Operation Warp Speed against him. And I said eventually what's going to happen is they're going to start admitting that the vaccines are killing people and the vaccines are hurting people. And then they're going to say, well, it's Trump's fault because he's the one that initiated Operation Warp Speed, which then put the vaccine out globally. This is why I said Trump has to come out and denounce the vaccine, but he didn't. They moved on from persecution into how are we going to remove this guy from the planet? What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality, guys. Today, we have Andy and DJ
Cruise the motherfucking internet.
And that's what we're going to do. That's what CTI stands for. It stands for Cruise the Internet. We throw some headlines up here on the screen. We speculate on what's true. We speculate on what's bullshit. And then we talk about how we, the people, can be the solution to the problems going on in the world. Other times when you tune in, we're going to have Q&AF. Q&AF is where you get to submit questions about life, business, success, personal development, what's going on in the world, whatever you want, and we answer them. You can submit those questions a couple different ways. The first way is,
guys, you can email those questions into askandy@andyfrisella.com.
You can also go on YouTube, now that we're on YouTube, and drop your questions in the comment section. Make sure you click subscribe, and we'll pick some from there as well to answer. Other times, we have Real Talk. Real Talk is just 5 to 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk that I think you need to hear. And then we have 75 Hard Verses. 75 Hard Verses is basically where people who have completed the 75 Hard program, which is the initial phase of the Live Hard program, come on and tell you how it changed their lives, tell you how they were pieces of shit before and how they fixed themselves from being pieces of shit. The program is available for free at episode 208 on the audio feed. There's also a book. The book is not required, but you can buy it. It's on my website, andyfrisella.com. For those of you that need to know the ins and outs and the more technical aspects of why we do what we do, the book is probably a better option. But episode 208 will get it done for you. And if you stick with it, it'll change your life. We also have this thing called The Fee. The Fee is very simple. I come on here every day. I share with you business knowledge, personal development knowledge from my 24 and a half years now of running businesses. I give a lot away for free and I don't run ads on the show. And the reason I don't run ads on the show is because I don't want to answer to anybody. I'm not going to be told what to say, what not to say, or be leaned on or pressured in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to give you the real truth. That's why this is called Real AF. So in exchange for that, all I ask is very simply that you share the show. All right. If you get value out of it, share the show. If you think there's a burner clip that needs to go out there, put it up. You know, do us a solid, man. We do this show for free. It costs me 7 figures a year to do. I got a full staff that I pay for out of my pocket to do this show. I'd appreciate if you help us grow it. So don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right.
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? It's a good Monday.
Yeah.
Good to be back. Had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just worked out.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worked out. Worked.
Yeah.
Worked out. Worked some more. Yeah.
Took a shit somewhere in between there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, man, I keep to myself. I do my own thing. I stay focused. You know, I'm not a big socializer.
Yeah.
I like it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I'm happy. So today's day 8 of 75 Hard, and I came off of a camping trip this past weekend. It was our yearly camping trip that we do for the motorcycle club that I participate in. And it was really cool, man, because this was a different time. Like, this was, I believe, the first time. It's not the first time that I've had these trips where I've been on 75 Hard and been able to push through no problem. But this was the first camping trip where it's like, you know, we're camping in the fucking woods. You have limited access. You got, you know, everything. And I was still able to get my shit done. And I'm actually like feeling really, really high on life right now. Just knowing that, you know, I feel like it's really early, day 8 in the program, man. But I just feel like, that discipline part of just like sticking to like what you have to do, bro. Like even to the eating aspect. I had fucking microwavable that 90 second rice you put in the microwave and fucking grilled chicken breast, bro. And
how you microwave shit in the middle of the woods?
We had I mean, they got RVs and shit with generators. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was all of that stuff. But
so you guys did like glamping? It
was glamping for sure. Yeah. I mean, I still slept in a tent.
Yeah,
in an air mattress, but Yeah, I just stole people's generators and shit. Typical black people stuff. You know what I'm saying? But no, dude, if it just feels really, really good, man. It feels good when you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like it feels good.
Yeah, man. You start to appreciate those wins, man. Every time you get those daily wins, that piles up. That's how you build confidence.
I just hate that, like, how easy it was before for me to just lie about or like make an excuse about doing shit. Like, bro, I was up every single day, partly because I couldn't sleep worth shit, but I'm still up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning getting my workouts done. You know what I'm saying? Just laps. You know what I'm saying? Laps around. I think we were staying on maybe like about 15 acres of just land.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm up doing my morning walks. Everybody else is still sleeping. Shit. It just bro, it just feels good, man.
Yeah,
it feels really good.
You feel
to be back
superior.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, look at all these fucking peasants sleeping.
It is what it is. I love that too, man.
It's just been cool, man. So it was a good weekend, man.
People are like, "Oh, you think you're superior?" No, I know I am.
It's the truth, man. I do.
The scoreboard tells a story, bitch.
It is what it is, man.
You're sleeping, I'm working. You're off, I'm working.
Yeah.
You're doing whatever it is that you do that makes you miserable, and I'm doing whatever I need to do to make me not miserable.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is. I do want to share this funny story, though. So on the way back home, so, obviously I'm riding my bike to these places, and coming back home, I'm trying to race the fuel gauge versus what the GPS is saying. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going to make it, but ended up didn't make it. I was probably about 30 minutes away from home, still south of like Perryville area.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stopped at this Love's gas station, and I'd probably been riding for about almost 2 hours straight, okay, rolling. And so I had to stop for gas. I'm like, I ain't going to make it all the way home. So last little fill up, right? And this truck pulls up. It's a red truck. And we're sitting there because I was at a Love gas station and the gas pumps were shut down. They were like recycling them or whatever. And this truck that pulled in, he was an older white guy. And he was like, I'm not waiting. There's another, gas station across the highway or whatever. So he pulls off. I'm looking at his truck, and on the back he has these bumper stickers. And it was like, there was a giant Biden bumper sticker, right? And then this other bumper sticker that read, Joe Biden is Hillary Clinton with a smaller penis, right? I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, all right, it's been like 15 minutes. Pump still ain't working. I'm like, I'll go to the other gas station. So I go over there, and he's still there. And he gets out. He's like, oh, long time no see. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all, kitted up in my biker stuff. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, man, I like your bumper stickers. He's like, oh, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
And I get back on my bike, and I recycle my playlist. And the first song that I have on my playlist is Richmond, North of Richmond, right? Siri, press play. You know what I'm saying? Tell me why me and him for the next 2 minutes are having a karaoke session in the fucking parking lot of this gas station.
He heard it.
Singing the song word for fucking word.
Yeah.
Word for word. And dude, it's just awesome to be able to get those real life temps of where America's at. Here's this, he's probably like 60 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's screaming at the top of his lungs. And it's like, we can still relate. Like that's truly what America's about.
Yeah, people are sick of it, dude.
Dude, they're over it.
Yeah.
And just like knowing how many more people are like aware of the shit that's going on, it's cool to see, man. It's cool to see.
I think people are generally sick of being told that they hate each other and that, the people that don't look like you or don't come from where you are or where you're born or where you come from or your enemy. And that, every joke you tell, everything you say, every comment is racist. Like everybody's fucking tired of it, dude.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Like even the Democrat and the people who bought into this shit for so long, they're realizing what they've perpetuated now, and it's disgusting to a lot of those people because I see it in my DMs every day.
Yeah, man. Well, it's like just knowing that even despite all the things that they try to throw at us, what unites us and what bonds us as Americans and what makes us, they're saying we're far more similar than we are different. Like, despite everything they're throwing at us, that still remains true. You know what I'm saying? And like, we just have to be aware that like, hey, no, we're all being fucking played. We're all being oppressed by the same people. We're all, being lied to by the same people.
Yeah, and everybody's starting to see it.
We're all struggling, what I'm saying, off the hands of the same people. And so, what unites us, we are far more similar than we are different. And I think it's just taking those moments just to pause, and even if it's just a conversation like, hey, nice bumper stickers.
Yeah.
And just see where it takes you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's on the same page right now.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Yeah, it's cool. But I know one place that I was not at. What's going on in Burning Man? Have you been seeing that shit?
Dude.
First of all, I mean, listen, I feel like the Burning Man attendee, they're leprechauns.
Bro.
What you got?
Not much. I mean, look, man, that just ain't my jam.
That's not it.
I grew up playing sports. I grew up lifting weights and doing violent shit and making money and shit. Like,
yeah,
I like
Burning Man ain't it.
This whole spiritual movement of like, let's take some drugs and let's walk around and goofy looking shit. Like it just ain't for me. And like these people are like, oh, you're gonna discover yourself. No, I've discovered myself. Look around. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go to these festivals and like act
Wait,
like
people try to convince you to go?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of my friends go.
They go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, to me, and like this is gonna piss some people off, but like it's lemming shit. That's what like
what is it?
Lemming. It's like lemming shit. It's like sheep shit. It's like oh, this is the cool thing. Yeah. And then people go and they try to justify it and act like it's this spiritual experience. Bro, you went and did fucking mushrooms in the desert. Like
and
listen to some fucking incense music. Like, dude, like it ain't that cool, bro.
It can't
like,
be that enlightening.
I put my tinfoil hat on 3 days a week here, brother. Like sometimes I run around naked with it on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's great. I have my own Burning Man. Like, bro, I'm just it's fucking weird, dude. And like it's shit. Like this whole to me, and like, dude, I get it. Like, I'm not dogging people. If you want to go and do that shit, that's cool. We could be friends and all that, but we probably ain't gonna be. But like, dude, it's just not my fucking thing, dude. Like,
well, now they're stuck out there apparently.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, yeah,
it's pretty bad.
I mean, dude, throw a few thousand people that live in a sheltered environment. All right. And put them in some harsh conditions, and they're going to get fucked up.
Even good conditions, and throw a fucking wrench at it. It's not going to have a good outcome, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I was laughing about it.
Our boy Diplo was out there. Did you see that? Our boy Diplo.
Was he?
Yeah, he was out there. Yeah, he's one of the ones that got stranded. Apparently, he had to like walk for like 5 miles before somebody picked him up.
Oh man.
Yeah. So he was with Chris Rock. Apparently.
Life is hard.
Yeah, here's a video. So they were walking for like 5 miles before this dude picked him up, I guess on the side of the road.
I mean, look, dude, that shit ain't for me. I don't give a fuck. Like this whole fake enlightenment, like spiritual shit that like infests the internet right now. It's like, it's just a bunch of people hiding from reality, in my opinion. It's a bunch of people trying to create an alternative reality. It's filled, and I'm not saying all the people, but it's filled with people who once had goals and dreams for themselves, who found that it's like pretty hard to build your life the way you want it. And, these people then adopt this other persona, which is like, I'm going on a spiritual journey, and they become some sort of internet spirit guide, posting all this enlightened shit, talking to us like we're fucking dumbasses.
Right.
And it's like, bro, like, do your shit, but you don't have to justify it all. Like, that's where my problem comes.
That's
like,
where the issue is?
Yeah, like my issue isn't that they go do this shit and all that. It's that they try to convince you that you're like morally inferior or spiritually inferior for not doing it.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, all right, man, like whatever the fuck you say.
Wait, so you telling me you haven't stuck a tree limb up your butt?
Dude, yeah, or, you don't do coffee. You don't do coffee enemas. Like, you don't ground.
Is that what it's called?
No, I'm just saying that's a,
you sound very knowledgeable.
You don't have a 30-point morning routine. Like, it's like, dude, I'm just over it, man.
Dude, I just hope.
And like, I can appreciate anybody who's doing things they need to do to like get better and deal with things. But like, bro, it's played out. It's become like a persona on the internet, just like the fake internet guru, right? Like, it's like a different version of the dude standing in front of a rented Huracan talking about how he's going to make you millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, to me, that's all I see.
Yeah.
And if that offends you, too fucking bad. Like that's just my opinion on it.
Dude, I hope everybody there gets out okay. You know.
I mean, they got nothing to do, so what difference does it make? Yeah, they can stay there indefinitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, that guys, did any of our listeners go to Burning Man? Are you guys stranded out there? Let us know in the comments.
Bro, imagine me, like, dude, seriously. Like, I want to paint a picture, bro. Like, imagine me going to this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And, like, me and Emily go to this thing, right? And then, like, we dress up in, like, these, like, it's just, it's, to me, it's like kid shit. You know what I mean? It's just not, I don't know. Like, I've never been someone that bought into like what was cool just because everybody did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not really into like being dirty and sweating for 4 days.
Bro, that shit's miserable.
I like showers and I like the luxuries of my fine estate that I've earned. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I like that shit.
Yeah.
Like this shit ain't for me. I'm not going to give up this, you know, one of the nicest estates in the world to go live in the desert for 4 days with a bunch of people I don't know, dressed up like a idiot, taking drugs. I could take drugs at my house. You know what I'm saying?
And still be naked.
Yeah. Like, it's just not for me, bro.
That's real, man. I get it. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And then, you know, here's the thing. I'll get the comments I'm going to get from this is, Andy, you don't know what you're missing. You're just insecure about your. Okay, bro. Like, shut the up. Like, people just need to do their lives and shut up about it. You know, hey, I went to Burning Man. I did drugs. I got fucked up. It was awesome.
Yep.
Like, just leave it at that.
I'm glad you have fun.
You don't have to fucking tell me this gigantic spiritual fucking reformation that you had over 3 days of getting, you know, seeing some boobies and like getting, you know, we used to just call that partying.
Right.
You know what I'm
We didn't
saying?
have to
Like,
pay thousands of
yeah,
dollars
bro.
to do it. Yeah.
Like before the internet, it was way cooler, dude. Like you would go out on a boat, bro. There's fucking titties everywhere. Everybody's partying. It was fucking awesome. Nowadays, the internet's ruined everything.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Can't even have fun anymore because nobody wants to have fun because they know they're going to end up on the fucking internet.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Like, don't you got to have, like to get into Burning Man, like, how many beads do you think you got to wear?
Anal ones?
No, like, you know, every dude there that goes to Burning Man has like a requirement of the certain amount of beads that they have to wear.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, like big, you know those big beads? Like you're not spiritual, bro, if you don't have like beads.
No, I didn't know. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing. Beads, like kind of a man bun ish look.
Oh, I knew
you
that
know?
was a requirement.
Yeah, like it's just,
I just look at this picture and I just imagine the smell.
bro, dude, the smell, like I can smell that picture. It smells like sewage. Tell me I'm lying.
I do know this though. I did see something though. So apparently, like, you know, you can't walk barefoot there, and so like that's
you'll get fucking Ebola or something, bro.
Yeah, like your feet will get fucked up because of like the sand. I guess it was a dry lake bed or some shit, and like if you walk barefoot, you'll have to end up cutting your dick off. That's what I've been seeing.
Well, there is a rainbow in the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, let's get on our first headline.
I mean, dude, that picture, it looks like a gay sewer party. That's the fucking looks like, dude.
Oh, shit.
Bro, imagine if I showed up and I said, DJ, we're going to Burning Man, bro. And I got like, come on.
Nah, bro.
I did see some crazy shit. Oh, I got a post taken down yesterday.
You did?
In my story, yeah.
What was the post?
So I posted this article about the forest fires going on in Louisiana. Did you see that?
No, bro. Listen, I'll tell you this. So the part of Mississippi we were in, first of all, the campsite that we were on,
yeah.
Guess what the name of the street was called?
What?
It was Coon Road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Mississippi. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I was a little. I was.
Did you feel right at home?
No, listen. That was the first time in my life, bro. I was like, all right, where the fuck they got us at? You know what I'm saying?
They fucking got you in the Matrix, bro.
Coon Road. Let me. Yeah, Coon Road in Sardis, Mississippi.
Oh man.
And it was the first time in a minute, man. Because I pulled up by myself. It's night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, man. Where do they got us at? You know what I'm saying? But
I thought they did that just for you.
Yeah,
Bro, so I read this article, 33,000 acres or some shit like that in Louisiana got started on fire by some arsonists, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. and I made a post and I said, dude, these climate fucks are setting fire and ruining our forestry and our natural habitat further a political agenda that they claim to love and care about.
Or they claim that exists. And
so they think destroying the planet is justified to get their way. And this is the problem that we have in society with all of these movements, is that people are unwilling to accept whether their opinions are right or wrong based upon the facts. They get emotionally invested in these views, and then they think that it's all about being right. Mm-hmm. And this is how shit gets really fucked up. And so we have this group of climate activists all over the world. It's happening in Greece too. It's happening in Canada. Mm-hmm. It's happening in California. And now it's been proven in Louisiana that the 33,000 acres, which was yesterday, so it's more today, right, have been burning because of these activists starting fires. And dude, like, my opinion is those people should be executed. Yeah. Like, dude, if you're willing to, those trees and that forest and this landscape, that belongs to the humans. Like, that's the earth, dude. And you're destroying something that's taken hundreds of years to build. Like, dude, if we catch these arsonists who are, these climate activists doing this, these people should be put to death. Yeah. Like, they should be given the death penalty.
Well, where's Pete at? What about all the wildlife in those forests? Dude, like, there's so much. I will say this. Like,
but anyway, that's why they took the post.
They took it down for that.
I said that.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Like, climate change is only happening because climate change isn't happening.
Well,
let that sink in.
Climate change is happening because there's trillions of dollars available for financing programs, and they have to have the justification to finance the programs. And those programs only exist if there's a problem. So if there's no problem, those programs don't exist and there's no funding.
Exactly.
So, and they use the climate agenda, as we talk about on the show quite often, to push a communist ideology. And if you don't believe me on that, you can go watch the film Agenda and Agenda 2. There's tons and tons of documentaries that talk about this, but I think those are the two most well done. Yeah, and I think they're palatable for most people. Some of them get like pretty far out there, right?
Yeah.
But this one lays it out and connects the dots for people. And a lot of people, because when you talk to people, it's common sense, right? Do you care about the earth?
Of course.
Yeah. Like, do you care about the environment? Yeah. But if you don't care the way they care, right? Meaning sacrifice everything and go along with all the lies that are told about climate, then you're the villain, and it doesn't matter what happened to you. Like, these people are insane, dude. These people who are climate activists like this on that level, they're fucking insane. And if they're willing to set fires and burn down forests that took literally hundreds or thousands of years to grow, they deserve to be killed. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. Because, dude, no amount of money can even fix that. You can't raise billions of dollars and rebuild the forest. Like, that's going to take hundreds of years to get back. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You're doing irreparable damage that cannot even be recovered in our lifetime. Like, that's no different than murdering a human being.
Yeah.
It's no different. And it's actually murdering a lot of human beings because we need those forests to produce the fucking oxygen that we breathe as humans. Dude, I can't stand those people. I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's wild shit, man. It's wild shit, man. But guys, let's get into our first headline. Remember, if you want to see any of these pictures, articles, links, videos, go to andyfrisella.com. You can find them linked there, or you can also drop down in the YouTube description below and find them linked there as well. So with that being said, let's get into our first headline, man. First headline. Headline number 1 reads, Biden says he's disappointed China's Xi reportedly will skip upcoming G20 summit in India. Now, this is an interesting one, right? So President Biden told reporters Sunday he was, quote, unquote, disappointed Chinese President Xi Jinping reportedly will not attend the upcoming G20 summit scheduled to take place in India this week. Quote, I'm disappointed, but I'm going to get to see him, Biden told reporters in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, without elaborating. Right now, I tried to do some digging. I wondered, man, why, what would make Xi skip it? You know what I'm saying? And, they have a pretty decent relationship. Now, I know we've had a lot of struggles, you know what I'm saying, a lot of weird things happening, but I couldn't find anything to pinpoint why Xi pinged out until I saw this next headline. FBI tracks over 100 incidents of Chinese nationals posing as tourists to breach U.S. military sites. Maybe is that why he pulled out? Did this report just come out and magically he's pulled out of the G20 summit? right? It's interesting. So let's dive into this. So this is a Fox News article. Reading, the FBI and DOD have reportedly tracked more than 100 incidents of Chinese nationals posing as tourists to attempt to breach U.S. military bases and other federal sites. Those responsible, dubbed quote-unquote gate crashers, range from Chinese nationals detected crossing into a U.S. missile range in New Mexico to scuba divers caught swimming in murky waters near a U.S. government rocket launch site in Florida. Several U.S. officials recently told the Wall Street Journal. The growing trend represents a potential espionage threat, as authorities believe the Chinese government, in some cases, is compelling nationals into service in order to test out and report back about security practices at the installations. The FBI, Department of Defense, and other agencies held a review late last year centered around deterring these incidents. It's not known how many incidents were benign in nature. For example, some Chinese nationals claim to have been following Google Maps to the nearest McDonald's or Burger King, which happens to be located near a military base. Very convenient. And more concerning incidents, Chinese nationals arrived saying they had a reservation at a hotel on a military base. Recently, a group of Chinese nationals purporting to be tourists tried to force their way past guards at Fort Wainwright, Alaska, claiming they had reservations at a commercial hotel on the base, according to the Journal. Fort Wainwright is home to the U.S. Army's 11th Airborne Division, focused on Arctic warfare. A Pentagon spokesperson told the Journal that in some cases, Chinese nationals have achieved unauthorized access to military bases by speeding through security checkpoints. In those incidents, they are quote, often cited criminally, barred from future installation access, and escorted off base, the spokesperson said.
I thought that if you just ran through checkpoints, they killed you.
You'd be shot and killed. Very, very interesting, man. And again,
to us.
Everybody's talking about it, from Yahoo News, CNN, MSNBC. They're all talking about it. Now, I thought this was an interesting topic to bring through because outside of it, bringing in flashbacks from that movie Olympus Has Fallen, right? At the same exact time, and we've talked about it countless on the podcast, we have military-age Chinese men that are coming through our border every single day by the thousands.
Yeah.
So Xi's pulling out of the summit. This report comes out today. Andy, what do you got on this?
Well, let's not also forget about the weather balloon that was allowed to go all the way across the United States and happened to pass over some of the most important military bases that we have in this country with the most secret technology that we have. And it was allowed to do so uninterrupted by the Biden administration, and then finally symbolically shot down after it had done its job. Then it was confirmed after the fact that they actually did get all that information they were looking for. Now we have military-age males coming across the border by the thousands, as you pointed out, every single day. And it's been happening for the last 2.5 years at the tune of hundreds of thousands of Chinese military-age males right now in the United States. We have now them going on and actually observing security protocols at some of these bases, like close up. And
bro, not to cut you, there's a case on here. Let me pull it up real quick because this is very, very important. U.S. officials also described Chinese nationals at the White House leaving tours to take photos of the grounds, communications equipment, and positions of Secret Service and other guards.
Yeah, why would they want to know that information? Okay, and then on top of it, let's talk about the thousands of acres of property that has been accumulated by the Chinese surrounding key strategic military bases in the United States. All right. They're planning to take us over, and people do not understand that. And Biden has taken money to give them all the strategic advantage that they would ever need to do so. He allowed the weather balloon to go across. He allows these people to come across the border. He allows these spies to do these things with no punishment. He's destroying the unity of the country intentionally. He's created disasters in most of the cities in this country intentionally via the crime and the identity politics and the division and the not prosecuting of any sort of crime whatsoever. I mean, dude, this guy's, and we've been saying this for years, he's been putting us on a silver platter for China to come in and get whatever they want. And now that's just what's disturbing about this to me, is that these people are observing like actual on-site protocols. And you don't observe those on-site protocols unless you are planning something in the somewhat near future of how to actually get in control of these situations.
It's reconnaissance, and that's the key thing when it comes to reconnaissance. You got to have the most up-to-date information, right? You can't rely on information that was taken 2 years ago because things change.
Right. And so, this isn't good. I think we're going to have the most turbulent next 12 to 16 months in the history of the country. I think there's a real possibility that we could have unrest, meaning a war on our soil. And I've been warning about this for years. None of this shocks me. None of this surprises me. This is what I've seen coming and what I've been trying to communicate to you guys coming. And, I would appreciate it as if you guys would like go out and like when all this stuff starts to happen and people start talking about other hosts on other shows who got shit right. If you guys would go tell them like, dude, this guy's been talking about this for fucking years. Because I have been. And you got half of you guys think I'm crazy. You think, oh, there's a conspiracy. Well, conspiracy is a real thing. Conspiracy theory is a theory. And it seems that all my conspiracy theories are actual real conspiracies by the way that they unfold. So everything that I've said about Biden serving up China, serving us up to China has unfolded more and more and more and more. It's not going the other way.
No, it's not.
It's not going more. In fact, China issued a threat last Thursday through their media that if we help Taiwan, and their quote was, there will be lethal consequences for the United States. So these guys are getting ready to rock and they're getting ready to roll, and their kids are in summer camp learning how to shoot guns and learn how to train and learn how to fight. And our kids are learning from women with fucking rainbow hair colors how to cut off their dicks. So you do the math on where we're at. You parents better start raising your kids right, because if you don't start raising your kids right, they're going to get slaughtered by these other people in other countries. We don't live in this iron dome of security where we're untouchable like you guys think.
No, that's been the fallacy and that's been sold to us.
That if we were bordered by hostile countries like some other countries are, these people would have a very real understanding that this could happen at any time, and this sort of preparation would be normal. But because that's never actually happened here, because of the strategic location that our country actually holds, meaning it's hard to invade, all right? Because of that, nobody takes it serious, and everybody thinks that America is this, amazing place that can never be fucked with. And and then, by the way, they villainize all the people who would stand up and defend this country for or against those people, right?
Yep.
So we have our own people, these progressive liberal dumbasses in here villainizing masculinity, villainizing men, feminizing young boys, making them weak, making them soft, teaching them bullshit like gender ideology. And the only reason they're able to do that is because they think that we're not touchable, and we are touchable. And we have a generation of kids from the age of 0 to 20 that, unless things majorly change, are going to be incapable of actually defending this country in just 10 more years. We're not talking, this isn't 20 years. We're talking within the next 10 years, if we're not already there. I mean, that depends on how strong the 20-year-old generation is right now, which by all accounts, it doesn't seem like it's real fucking strong. And it certainly doesn't feel like it's very patriotic. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the strategic thing, that's something people like. China's not going to roll up with their warships on our coast.
No, they're going to send as many people
to make sure they got people inside first.
And then a switch would flip and those people would all become soldiers. They're already here.
They're here, man. They're here.
Listen, dude. What America's got coming, it deserves. People get pissed when I say that. We deserve it. You guys have gotten so unfocused on reality, and you've lost all. And you're also, by the way, a lot of Americans have been cowardly.
Yeah, all the red flags have been going. You
guys haven't spoken up. You haven't fucking said what you know to be true. You don't even share my fucking show sometimes because you're afraid it's going to offend people. And now we're in a situation, like, think about that. Like, you can't even share content that you believe in because you're afraid, and you think that we're going to, like, win a war against another country. Like, you're not even willing to stand up to these weak little malnourished, like, pussies who fucking
go to Burning Man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, not Burning Man, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who are like these little, people who look like they haven't had an ounce of nourishment in the last 20 years and have sat in the dark in somebody's basement. They look like skin hanging off a skeleton, or they're fat as fuck and they got fucked up hair and they're all fucking weird, and they're talking about how they're going to, your kids should be, your boy should be a girl and your girl should be a boy, and you're a racist for not fucking agreeing with it, and blah, blah, blah. And you fucking pussies wouldn't stand up to those people. And now look where we are.
Yeah.
So I've never bent the knee to those people, and I never will. They can fuck off. And until Americans get to that point, we're going to continue to get weaker and weaker and weaker. And we need a cultural revival of masculinity to happen right now. I don't care if it's toxic or not. You guys all say, oh, toxic masculinity. Yeah, until you need some of it.
Right.
Until you fucking need some of it, until you need someone to fight a war, until you need someone to fucking protect you, until someone busts out a gun and there's no fucking men around, they all hide behind the women. Then you want your toxic, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The fucking women don't even want it, bro. Look at all the women that complain about how there's no men.
Yeah.
Look at them, dude. You guys did that.
You ran them off.
You guys, yes. you guys made the bed and now you're laying in it. You're the one that said for the last 10 years that men are bullshit and we don't need men, and men are fucking stupid, and men are racist and power hungry and the patriarchy and all this stuff you guys said. And now what do we have? We have a bunch of men who supplicate, beg, and whine and plead and have no ounce of masculinity in their body or in their bones whatsoever. They have no ability to take care of the family. They have no ability to protect our country. And feminism did that. Okay, so, when you guys look around, all you women, you say, oh, there's no good men. Just remember who did that.
It's real shit, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know, guys, where you stand. #GateCrashers. And let us know where you guys
are. You optimistic about our ability to defend ourselves against a Chinese opponent?
I mean, I would say here's the only positive that I could see, right? I think this is going to be like, I mean, everybody's seen the movie Red Dawn. I think we'll get to some of that part. And the only thing that makes me somewhat optimistic is the fact of knowing that, all of our true American patriots, the guys that were in the military, they're gone. They're now on the streets with us. You know what I'm saying? So if it was to come to that,
okay.
I feel like there's going to be certain
I can agree with that. But most of those men are in their late 30s or early 40s or older.
Yeah.
All right. So how many more years can they do that?
Yeah, that's true. It's very, very true. Yeah, I mean, if China was to do some shit tomorrow,
our age range,
might be all right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
would be all right.
But in 5 years or 10 years, no fucking way.
Ain't looking
because
good.
the actual masculine men, which are usually of the ages of late 30s to like 50, right, that are still somewhat active and healthy and able to train and fight, those men are going to be old men, and the young men are not becoming men.
Yeah.
They're on spiritual journeys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a massive vacuum there, man.
Dude, I even see these talking heads, these guys that got podcasts, trying to break down masculinity on their podcasts when, it's very clear that they have very little of it. You know what I mean? Dude, just fucking be a man. Stand the fuck up for what is right. Eat right. Train hard. Work hard. Provide. Protect. Tell the truth. Stand on what you believe. Be a fucking man.
Eat a steak.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's real simple.
Yeah.
Take care of people. Do the right thing. Be a good example. Say yes when you mean yes and follow through. And when you mean no, follow through on that too. This is not hard. Take initiative. Take charge. Make some decisions. Be a fucking leader in your household. These things matter, and they matter more now than they've ever mattered before. And no masculinity coach or man camp or this or that or this is going to get you. This is basic shit. Y'all know what to do. Go fucking do it. Like, it's very simple. Every single man listening right now is shaking their head being like, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, like, be useful. Like, this isn't hard, dude.
No, it's not, man.
You don't need permission to be a fucking man. You don't got to get a certification to be a man. You don't got to go to a man camp. You don't got to fucking, you don't got to hunt and like eat raw meat. Like, bro, it's basic shit.
I mean, you can.
No, you can. That's a good skill to have. But I'm saying, like, we have like polar things happening, right?
Yeah.
We have this movement of feminine men breaking down masculinity, who think they're being masculine. They think there's this new version of masculinity, like that they've created, right? Which is like this vulnerable fucking soft version. No, that's not masculinity. And you know what else isn't masculinity? Talking about how you only eat raw meat 24/7 and going out and living in the woods and fucking hunting. And bro, no, we're talking about like good man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be, because dude, this is confusing people, right? Yep. It's either you got to be this fucking soft little spoon, or you got to go out and like, if you don't wipe your ass with fucking poison ivy for fun, like, you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is absurd. It's absurd shit. Being a strong, masculine man is not that fucking hard to understand. It takes some effort. You're going to have to put some work into it. It's not a natural thing. It's hard, but fucking we need it, man.
Bro.
What?
Wipe your ass with poison ivy.
Bro, you know what I'm talking about. Like these guys who take it upon themselves to declare and decide what a man is.
What manhood is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, if you don't run 280 miles and do all this shit, you're not a man. And if, you know, and over here, if you don't cry about your fucking childhood and go on a spiritual journey and dress up and go to Burning Man, you're not a man either. It's like, shut the fuck up. None of you guys we're talking about basic shit.
Yeah.
We're talking basic shit that we need. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, and women need to call for it. Like, that's the thing. Like, men will do anything for fucking pussy. I don't know if you figured that out yet, but like, when dudes start figuring out that they're never going to get a shot at it ever unless they hold these fucking values, then guess what? They will transform into those things.
Magically.
Women run the show here. They got the remote control. They're complaining about masculinity, but they keep hitting mute on it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I just saw this study or something that they took more like, I don't know if it was the term androgynous or what, but they just said liberal men. They took liberal men and they gave them testosterone.
Yeah, they started voting conservative. Yeah,
bro,
that's real shit. People make fun of Alex Jones. They say because Alex Jones, his delivery, he gets drunk and he goes crazy and shit like on Rogan, right?
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. It's funny to me because I also understand he's passionate about
the message.
What he's message like delivered. Bro. But the thing is, he's telling the truth. He was telling the truth 20 years ago when he talked about atrazine being in the water and atrazine turning the frogs gay, and you all made fun of him. You all said, "Oh, the frogs are gay. Ha ha ha! Alex Jones is an idiot." And it turns out, holy shit, they do have atrazine in the water, and it does lower testosterone. And the average testosterone of the average man now that's in his 20s is that of a man even just 25 years ago that was in his 60s. Okay, so this isn't like conspiracy theory. This is a conspiracy to demasculinize men. And why would they want to demasculinize men in America? There's only one motherfucking reason, and it's to conquer it.
That's fine, yeah.
Go take some fucking test. Holy shit. Andy, you're what, are you all test up? You goddamn right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I fucking love it, bro. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Both arms.
Great.
Both cheeks. That's how I take mine.
Yeah, well.
I love it, man. But guys, tell us what you guys think, man. Jump in this conversation. Get in with us, man. Let us know what you guys are talking about, what you guys are thinking. But let's keep it moving. But before we go to our second headline, guys, it is time, as we've been doing on the last couple ones. We got to cruise the motherfucking comments, man. And we got a good one.
We do?
Ooh, we got a good one.
All right.
Let's got a good one. Let's read this one. This comment, this is from YouTube. From at Big Show Entertainment Network, Ben, quote, "This is hands down one of my favorite podcasts. You can't get any more real than Andy and DJ. We have to put Trump back in the White House. I'm a nigga for Trump too.
Bro, I love it. In a year from now, you're going to see everybody wearing that motherfucking shirt.
Oh, yeah.
White people are going to be wearing it. Everybody's going to be wearing it. That one man,
it's a movement.
He's going to destroy racism in this country.
Yeah.
It's Bro, I loved how they tried to troll him. And like, because, you know, they thought,
shit.
Bro, they thought he was going to be just some dumb dude that was going to fucking sound ghetto as fuck. Mm-hmm. And he fucking schooled him. That was great.
He knew his shit.
He's been my favorite internet thing from August.
Yeah,
that was my number one.
He's a scratch off for Christmas.
Yeah. He was my August meme.
He's an advent calendar.
For sure.
Scratch off.
And by the way, I appreciate this Big Show Entertainment. That's a long name.
Yeah,
bro.
His name is
Ben.
I pulled it up. No, it's David Rains.
All right, David.
Yeah, David Rains.
Well, you're the fucking man. I appreciate the compliment, and so does DJ, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you. And we appreciate all you guys for commenting.
Yeah, even though especially you to hate us.
Yeah, especially the ones that hate us.
Yeah, because we get lots of laughs about you guys.
You guys are some funny motherfuckers out there.
Bro, if some of these fucking people who write these ass comments knew how hard we laugh at them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're saying some real angry shit, thinking we're over here
this is gonna get them so bad.
Yeah, dude.
Mom, give me another Hot Pocket. I'm on fire right now. Yeah, but no, we do appreciate all of our all of you guys, man.
Yeah,
you guys
I do,
awesome.
man.
So you guys are some real ass fans.
You know what I appreciate too is that like we have two kinds of listeners. We have like the very engaged listener that's like, fuck yeah, they're bought in and they're willing to share the message. Mm-hmm. And then we have the secret listener. The secret listener who listens to all the shit, but they never share the shit.
You know what we call those?
What?
They're hoes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, listen, I love the hoes.
Listen.
Love you guys. Love the hoes. You know what I'm saying?
The message has to get out, guys. So.
Gotta share it.
Yeah.
Gotta share the show, man.
All right. Don't be a hoe.
Yeah, don't be a hoe, man. Share the show. Let's keep it moving. Let's get right into headline number 2. Headline number 2 read, Fauci is concerned that people won't comply if masking recommendations return. Quote, I hope they abide. This your boy, ain't it?
I'm telling you right now, dude. Like, if I was president of the United States, he would be my number one person that goes to the gallows.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
Yeah.
Straight to jail. Yeah, dude.
So they do good.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this. So in a Saturday interview, former White House chief medical advisor Anthony Fauci spoke out in defense of masking up amid today's rising COVID cases. In the event that masks are again recommended, he is, quote, concerned that people will not abide by recommendations, he said in an interview. Quote, I would hope that if we get to the point that the volume of cases is such, should I read it like him?
If you can.
I mean, I got a pretty decent Fauci. Mask.
I can't fucking stand how he says it. Masks.
It was never mandated.
Mask.
Yeah. It was only required.
Dude.
That fucking guy.
Fuck that guy.
I bet he smells like Mesmerized. You know that cologne, that old school?
I don't think about what Fauci smells like, bro.
No. You know what Burning Man smells like.
Yeah, but
they got to be similar.
All old people smell the same. They do. Do they not?
Pause. What is the smell?
You know the smell. It smells like mothballs. It smells like a decaying corpse that's still alive. I don't know what the the smell is, bro. I'm just being real. This ain't called fake as fuck.
Where does it come from? Like how?
I'm sure that because they're dying.
Okay. You just go. Yep. Almost time, Uncle.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what the fuck?
It is what it is, man. I'm a fucking asshole. It is what it is.
So what age does that kick in?
I think it starts a little bit at a time. I think when you get to like a certain point in life where things start going backwards, that's when it starts. Like I'm probably starting to get a little of it. All right? Like my fucking hair's turning gray. Like I'm fucking like, I'm probably walking around. People get like a little tiny bitty whiff of mothballs. And they're like, what the fuck was that?
Butterscotch candies.
Yeah,
it's mothballs and butterscotch candies.
Pretty soon I'll be wearing like an Afghan robe. You know what I'm saying? Like
you just wake up one day and you got pockets just full of butterscotch candies. Like no.
are good though. There ain't nothing like a Werther's.
Oh shit! All right, sorry guys, we're back. If you're still listening,
That's trophy worthy. I was gonna say that.
oh, that was what?
I think it was.
Oh man, look, Joe's advocating.
Wait, not for you, for me.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
which part?
The wake up with the whole pocket.
All right.
order that.
No, you get one back.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, you got one
Damn.
back.
Am I back at baseline?
Now, one of them was down there on Coon Road.
Oh man. Oh. Guys, if you're still listening, let's
Where's Syed? I need a fucking moon slurpee. Oh my God,
shit.
dude.
all right.
There's something wrong with me.
All right. So Fauci said, quote, I would hope that if we get to the point that the volume of cases is such and organizations like the CDC recommends, CDC does not mandate anything.
Oh,
That's a very interesting talk point on him. But
Yeah, I
let me
got
continue.
I got a whole rant about this whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
waiting for you to shut the fuck up. And everybody knows it's true too. All right, keep going.
All right. He says CDC does not mandate anything, but recommends that people wear masks. I would hope that people abide by that recommendation and take into account the risk to themselves and their families, Fauci told CNN. Fauci, who also served as the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institute of Health until December of 2022, also called into question a January 2023 Cochrane study that found masks to be ineffective. Right? So, quote, when you're talking about the effect on the pandemic as a whole, the data is less strong, Fauci said. But when you talk about an individual basis of someone protecting themselves, there's no doubt that there's many studies that show that there is an advantage to mask. Now, the Cochrane study that he's talking about, it was been called the gold standard analysis, where they analyzed 78 different studies, including over 1 million people, into whether masks were effective or not. And what they concluded was insane. They concluded that surgical masks, the regular little face diapers that most people wear, they only reduced your COVID risk by 5%. Okay. And then they also concluded that the risk of wearing masks far outweighed any benefit because they brought into the effect of the effects that it had on kids and children, and all of that. That was insane. But I do want to bring something else, another win. I don't know if you got a chance to see it because it is fresh off the press. This AP News article headline reads, Court revives doctors' lawsuits saying FDA overstepped its authority with anti-ivermectin campaign. Massive win on that fact, where they concluded that basically the FDA is not doctors, and they had no legal authority to endorse, denounce, or advise, is what the judge wrote on that. So anyway, we got on this COVID 2.0, man?
I think it's a little bigger than what we're covering just here in the scope of this article, because I happened to catch a couple other points. We had yesterday the government of New Zealand on TV saying that they did not force anybody to take the vaccine and that it was voluntary. So basically the guy gets up there and he's like, yeah, it was a hard time and there was a lot of pressure, but there was no mandating of the vaccine. It was your own decision. And then today we actually had Trudeau come out and say the same thing.
They're all on the same step.
Right? And then we also have Fauci come out and say the same thing. So these are three of the main characters, because New Zealand had that Ahern lady, remember Jacinda Ahern, and she resigned under the pressure of all this shit. And remember, she was laughing at everybody, and she was on the podium, and somebody asked her a question, and they were like, "Oh, so you're saying that there's no freedom and this and that without the vaccine?" And she's like, "Yep," and then she laughs. Right? There's a clip. We should find it and put it in the show for people to watch.
Cabinet has decided today that vaccinations will be mandated for everyone who works in any workplace where a vaccine certificate is required for entry.
So you basically set this is going to be like, well, it's almost like, you probably don't see it like this, the two different classes of people. If you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated, you have all these rights. If you are vaccinated...
That is what it is. So, yep.
You know, it's interesting that within like 36 hours, all of these people came out and did that. And I was thinking, like, why are they all coming out right now and saying that they didn't mandate the vaccine last time and they didn't mandate masks, which we know to be false. Okay, there's tons and tons and tons of organizations that literally fired millions of people because they wouldn't get the vaccine.
Yeah.
All right.
Both federal. I mean, it's been all over.
Correct. They're pretending like they didn't do any of this. And there's only one or two reasons. There's only two reasons I can think of as to why they would pretend they didn't do this. One, they feel like accountability is unavoidable. Okay, which I don't think that they're there yet. I don't think they believe that. I actually think it's the second reason I'm about to say. And I think the reason that they're all coming here, and if you remember, I said this a couple years ago, or at least a year to a year and a half ago, I said this about Trump. I said they're going to use his fucking Operation Warp Speed against him. And I said eventually what's going to happen is they're going to start admitting that the vaccines are killing people and the vaccines are hurting people. And then they're going to say, well, it's Trump's fault because he's the one that initiated Operation Warp Speed, which then put the vaccine out globally. All right. So what I see is some really bad chess.
They'll drop it off of him.
And this is why I said a year to a year and a half ago, maybe we can find the clip even. Let me tell you, DT, this is what the fuck they're going to do to you. When you go out there and you brag about this motherfucking vaccine, they are going to use that against you. They are going to do it before primaries or before 24. But what they're going to do is they're going to pivot the narrative and put out the data of the actual vaccine injuries. And then they're going to say, Trump closed us down. Trump ruined the economy. Trump pushed the vaccine and he caused all this shit. And unless he comes out right now and start preaching accountability for the people, they are going to flip this narrative. It will be pinned on him and
We'll be fucked.
Yeah. This is why I said Trump has to come out and denounce the vaccine, but he didn't. And I said if he didn't, this is what they would do. And now they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I see happening here. These people, this is not an accident that the New Zealand government comes out, that Fauci
Canada,
comes out,
yeah.
that Castro Jr. comes out up there in Canada. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an accident. Like this is a coordinated move. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't think of his fucking name.
I gotta give you no, bro. That's good.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's
fucking,
Castro Jr.
what's his name?
Trudeau.
Yeah. You know, and I bet we're gonna have. I bet by tomorrow when this show airs, I bet there's more world leaders that come out and say this. And this seems like, to me, it feels like a coordinated move of exactly what I said was going to happen, which was if Trump didn't back out the vaccine and tell people that he was pressured into pushing that, everybody was scared that they would eventually then turn on him and try to blame it on him.
And bro, it's funny you bring this up because a couple of things here, right? Like I was actually in the room when we had this conversation with one of the Trump's close advisors.
I said this to his fucking team, to their faces.
You know, so like we know the message was received.
Yeah.
Or at least hope to. You know. And listen, Trump has the ego thing, right? Like I mean, he pushes it out. He's very proud. I get all of that stuff, man, but this is not that.
He's got bad advice.
You want to die on. You know?
Trump's very smart. He's been around a long time. He's much smarter than me. He's got way more experience than me. All right. But he has bad advisors around him.
Yeah.
He needs to get some other people around him that are smart.
Yep.
That actually like aren't going to just say yes because they want to like get closer to him, that are going to actually tell him the truth. Because I could have told him this fucking 2 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, that's what I believe happened. Like a lot of people pin the Operation Warp Speed on Trump and they say blah, blah, blah. But if you remember how the media, the environment there was, he was trying to navigate through that situation. And so there was immense amounts of pressure on him. You know, listen, do you not remember the videos that they put out at the beginning of this shit where people were falling over dead?
Yes.
And like they're walking down the street and all of a sudden they fall over, like the amount.
And the white suits come and pick them up. Yeah.
Yes. And then you got to take into effect what we know now, that he was surrounded by a bunch of people that were turning on him, which have now been exposed over the course of time. And so when we look at like this whole thing of how Operation Warp Speed came about.
And he talks about that. Trump talks about that. Like he did not know that he didn't know who to trust. He thought he could trust people while he was in, and now he knows he can't. But he knows who he can't trust.
I mean, dude, look, I think his ass
about
is
it.
in a sling on this thing because, like, dude, there's people getting sick and there's people dying and there's people, and he continues to say it was a great innovation. And it wasn't a great innovation, bro. It was a weapon that they strategically put out. You bought it hook, line, and sinker, and you're too proud to admit it.
Yeah.
And if you would just admit it and say they fucking got me too, then people would get behind you a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, dude, this shit of coming out every month saying it was a great when people's when there's a 40% all cause mortality rate increase right now. 40%. So like, dude, they're going to blame that on him.
Well, it's funny you say that because, I mean, like, I feel like as a listener, you guys are probably thinking, well, like, what's the point of blaming on him? Guys, they don't want the dude to run, and they're already spinning that up. They're trying to get him out of this election.
They're not even trying to get him out of the election, bro. They're going to kill the dude.
Yeah.
They moved on from persecution into how are we going to remove this guy from the planet? Because they think if they cut the head of the snake off that all these people are just going to go away. When in reality, what's going to happen is if they did do that, a whole new group of leaders are going to step in and there's going to be a shit ton of them and these people are going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Just quickly on this headline. What's your take on this FDA lawsuit case with the ivermectin shit?
I think it's crimes against humanity, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't get ivermectin intentionally. And the reason that we couldn't get it is because if there was an effective therapeutic to this virus and it was known, they couldn't declare a state of emergency. If they couldn't declare a state of emergency, they couldn't do all the stuff that they did. Shut down small business, transfer the wealth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, push forward a lot of people don't talk about what they did here too. Remember what they did with the prisons? They let all the people out of the prisons, okay? Because they wanted disorder and they wanted crime and they wanted, and now we have it. All right. So, dude, this is part of the crimes against humanity, case. And these people intentionally lied to us about effective therapeutics. And because they intentionally lied, because they wanted their funding, because they wanted to transfer the wealth, because they wanted the authoritarian control, people died and they should be held accountable.
100%, man. 100%. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. #mask off.
Bro, half of the people listening to the show right now shamed other people for taking ivermectin.
Yeah.
Called them fucking horses and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Remember what they did to Joe Rogan?
Yep. Bro, they to the point where they edited a video.
I just want to know where the line in the sand's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to have to do to get people to get the courage to stand the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, what is going to be? Because, dude, what's going to happen? People don't understand. There's a window where you can stand up and it's still easy to stop. And the longer you let it go, the stronger they get, the weaker we get, the harder it is to stop. The more casualties, the more pain, the more frustration and destruction that we're going to have to endure to fix it. Like, if people would just use their voices right now, we would be able to stop this. If they would just stand up right now and just be like good old-fashioned American, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit, I'm not buying any of your stuff, I'm not listening to you over here who has mental problems about how I need to raise my kids, I'm not teaching my kids to cut off their dicks, I'm not doing any of this shit, fuck you. And if America just did that as a whole, the game would be over. All they have to do is not comply to any of it.
Yeah.
And just say, fuck you. And then shame the fuck out of the people that go for it.
It's real shit, man.
Yeah.
That's
like they do to us, because it works.
Yep.
Those people need to be put, dude, we're being, the tail is wagging the dog. Most of society agrees that this is out of control. And so we have a very small minority that's very loud who thinks they have the power. And all that has to happen is the dog has to turn around and bite the motherfucking flea that's on his tail. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's not that hard to understand. These people are not in numbers. They're not strong. They're weak, and they're in low numbers. But if we get them to continue to have the momentum and the power that they're accumulating through social, and we continue to give them the power, they're going to use it.
Yeah.
So America needs to get back to who they are, dude, which is, fucking fuck you.
It's real shit, man. Guys, let's get on to our third and final headline. Headline number 3. Headline number 3 reads, Archives asks Joe Biden, Barack Obama permission to release Robert Peters' alias emails. So this email scandal has turned out to be a little bit different than what we thought it was, and actually it's a lot more concerning. So let's dive into this. This is a Breitbart article reading. The National Archives asks permission from President Joe Biden and former President Barack Obama if the agency can release Joe Biden's alias emails and records, according to the House Oversight Committee. The committee requested the archives on August 17th this year to hand over all documents and communications in which then Vice President Joe Biden used pseudonyms such as Robert Peters, Robin Ware, and J.R.B. Ware. The archive's deadline to reply to the committee's request was August 31st. Now, today, Andy, September 4th, right? Okay. Joe Biden used 3 email aliases to share government information and discuss business with Hunter Biden and associates, according to the Southeastern Legal Foundation, or SLF. The archives reportedly possesses about 5,400 emails and records related to the aliases. Quote, today is the deadline for the National Archives to produce the records related to then VP Joe Biden's pseudonyms, the Oversight Committee said Thursday evening. Quote, NARA has informed us that the emails and records have been sent to representatives for former President President Obama and Joe Biden for their approval to be released. Quote, given President Biden's promise to be the most transparent administration in history, we are calling on him to follow through with this and provide these records to the American people, the committee added. Now, NARA typically notifies current and former presidents of both requests for and proposed disclosure of records of former presidents, according to the agency. Quote, the purpose of the notification is to give counsel on behalf of the incumbent president the right to assert applicable constitutionally based privileges to prohibit access to or release of presidential or vice presidential records. Although these records were created by a prior president, the incumbent president may believe that it is appropriate to assert executive privilege to bar the release of these records. Now, got to back up a little bit. So lawmakers began scrutinizing Joe Biden's alias email addresses in 2021. Senator Ron Johnson out of Wisconsin and Senator Chuck Grassley out of Iowa, authors of a 2020 Senate report on the Biden family, issued letters to the White House and NARA requesting the content of email addresses on 3 separate occasions. But the archives stonewalled request. Okay? And it wasn't just Obama and it wasn't just Biden. They actually revealed that it was 6 Obama administration officials that used the alias emails. Obama, Hillary, Holder, Lynch, Jackson, and Biden. Now, I'm going to focus in on Biden and Hillary and Joe, obviously. But Obama used these alias email addresses to communicate with his Secretary of State, 2-time failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. And Politico reported that. 2016, Joe Biden, Robert Peters, he was communicating about the Russia-Ukraine stuff, or about the Ukraine stuff, about Poroshenko and all of that. You got Hillary Clinton. We know about her email scandals. Now, why aren't they releasing these emails? Does it detail all the stuff about Crossfire Hurricane? The Steele dossier? Is this how they were communicating with all of those stuff outside of the in-person meetings, which has been confirmed over and over again? Now, my question is, we have Trump's mugshot. What is the GOP doing that are these senators, what are they doing?
They're being told not to do anything or they won't be able to get any money in their campaigns.
Like, is that worth more?
That's how this works.
Dude.
That's how it works. These people are owned by private corporations and private donors who are telling them, yeah, make a ruckus, but don't actually do anything, or else we're not going to donate to your reelection campaign. That's what's happening.
Like, do they not understand that there won't be a fucking reelection if this stuff continues?
They think that they will be on the inside of whatever happens.
Like they're going to hold their seat. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're going to be exempt from whatever happens. This is a common trait of any corrupt government system that's existed forever. And historically, the same thing happens to all of them. Eventually, they all get killed. All right? Because they stop representing the people. They start representing themselves. They start looking at themselves as above the people. And eventually, the people get tired of it and kill them. And this has happened thousands of times across human history. So their belief that they believe that they're untouchable or they're on the inside or they're, first of all, they're not. Okay. Second of all, They're really not, because eventually people get tired of it and handle the business.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. One thing that I'm sick of, which I think a lot of Americans are sick of, is the whole little gang of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, this whole thing. Like it's these same people involved in all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's disrupting our lives. We're never going to get these years back. The time that's been wasted, we're not getting back. We're not getting back those 2.5 years where they shut our country down. Your kids aren't getting it back. Like people don't think about that. They think we're going to live forever, and then they don't think about like what they're actually taking from us. They're not just taking, it's not just minor inconveniences. They're taking life from us over extended periods of time because of their lies and their corruption. Oh, what do you mean? The lockdown was only 2? Yeah, okay, fine. Hillary Clinton made up a document out of thin air that made the media talk about this one issue, Trump-Russia collusion, for 7 years now. All right? She made it up. And when we think about the arguments, and we think about the disruption, and we think about the division, and we think about the lies, and we think about all the things that have come from that one document in this country and how damaging it's been to society, and there's no accountability for it, no one thinks of the things in these terms, dude. You have to like back up from the painting to see the full scale of what's going on. And we're not getting back these years. We're supposed to have peace, prosperity. We're supposed to be able to focus on our own lives and work to achieve at least have the opportunity to work to achieve the American dream peacefully. We don't have peace in this country. We've got division everywhere we go. People are fucking assholes because these people have pitted people against each other for so long, bro. Like, when are we going to realize that it's this elite class of people that are literally ruining the American existence for all of us? When this is supposed to be the prime of my life. And I have to come in here and talk about these fucking assholes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how differently could your life have looked?
The last 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
Dude, and not only that, we take the 10 years before that when we were dealing with the beginning stages of the demoralization process, okay? When they took out the reality from society. They took out the truth. No, dude. They started teaching kids that showing up was worthy of winning. They started telling them it didn't matter what place you got. They started telling them you could be a girl or a boy or whatever you wanted to be. They removed skill sets from the educational process. They removed the history of America, the true history of America, from the education process. They've created this scenario where they've literally demoralized our country completely. So this wasn't just the last 7 years. It was the 15 years before that too, where they removed the Pledge of Allegiance and they made everything offensive. And they told you couldn't say this and you couldn't say that. And you can't talk about these things, otherwise you'll be canceled. All of those things take our peace from society. And nobody talks about the quality of life that these people and their greed and their power thirst has removed from our lives that we'll never get back. We should be able to have a very common sense America. We should be able to have for sake of a lack of a better terms, the 2000 America without the corruption, right? There was all that corruption going on there too. But like, I'm talking about where people were.
Culturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, winning's great. Kicking ass is fun. We celebrate winners. We celebrate the American dream. In order to win at the American dream, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, red, or brown, or whatever else. If you work hard as fuck, you're going to have a shot at it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they removed all those things and created all this division in its place. And that's cost us quality of life that we cannot get back. How many arguments have you been in over this shit over the last 15 years? No, I'm being serious. I'm just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
How many? How many arguments? How many times did you have to swallow shit from people who were totally full of shit, who lack common sense, who don't know reality, and because on the news they're telling them they're right, you've had to swallow it and just take it. Like, dude, we're all in that position. And I think, fortunately, I think people are getting tired of it. They're at least starting to recognize it. But dude, it's time to restore America to what America's supposed to be. Land of the free, home of the brave. Equal opportunity, work hard, celebrate winning. Winning is good. Try to get first place, do the best you can, be the best you can. Like, be exceptional, be in good shape, live a high standard life. Like these things that embody America, treat people right, help people. Those things have to come back.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. People think that someone's going to come back and like wave the magic wand and these things are just going to come back. That's not how it comes back. It comes back through your actions and through your life. This is why I talk about all the time. Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. The revolution that you're waiting for is inside of you, and you're not living that revolution on a day-by-day basis. And that's why no revolution culturally is occurring. That's it.
Yeah, you might do it on Sunday.
Dude, I'm just telling you, that's it. That is the only reason it's not occurring. And it would occur very fast if everybody bought into it.
Yeah. That's some real shit, man. I think, and just to add on to this point, we talk about this impeachment process, right? Because they try to play by the books, but even with this, man, it's like, McCarthy, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? And like, the thing is, like, they're talking about this impeachment. He's saying that, to make sure they'll have a majority vote to push through the impeachment or to start the impeachment process, right? But here's the thing. This Bible article reads, it says, so even if, right? So if the House were to move forward with opening an impeachment query in September or October, for what it is worth, the investigation would likely take months before any vote on articles of impeachment against Biden, if such a vote ever comes. That could mean an impeachment and a trial for Biden in the Senate. Senate rules require a trial quickly after an impeachment is delivered from the House. Could come right before November 2024 election in the summer or fall of 2024. Like, how is this a year-long process when all of the facts, when all of the stuff is out?
Because they're not trying to do anything.
Exactly.
They're trying to appear to do things.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you what, dude. People ain't going to like this. Biden's going to win the election next time. People don't get that. Because you guys are still being cowards and you're still being silent and you're still sitting on the sidelines and you're not understanding a very basic reality. These people are out registering voters. For this whole migrant crisis, they're registering all those voters for Joe Biden. Do you know why Joe Biden stands up there and smirks when shit goes wrong?
Because he knows
he knows it's in the fucking bag, bro.
Don't matter.
He knows it. Okay? These people are going to sit on 30, 40 million mail-in votes before the election even starts. All right? And we have Republicans out here, quote unquote, and conservatives who won't get off their ass and play the same game. Like every fucking person out here listening right now, like you should be engaged in the process. You should be registering people to vote. You should volunteer your business, you small business owners, to be a place where people can register to vote. Go figure out how to do those things. Because, dude, I'm going to tell you, these people are going, and by the way, people will say, yeah, they're cheating. Actually, that's not cheating. Because it's actually allowed within the law, the framework of the law in many states. And because they're utilizing these techniques and the other team isn't, they continue to lose. So like, dude, until these people in the Republican Party truly fucking start playing the game the right way, they're playing with one or two arms tied behind their back. There's zero, as the way things sit right now, even with the gigantic amount of momentum that Trump has, these people are still going to win because they're going to have 40 million votes going in on the fucking first day.
They won't start counting until a week after
and
the
dude,
election.
And nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah, that's real shit, man.
It's going to take people to get engaged. And the reason nobody's doing anything about it, bro, is because half the people are afraid to stand up and say, yeah, I support Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been bullied so hard for supporting Trump. And until you guys get over this, and until you get over all this cowardice and this abuse that you've been doled out by the other side of the aisle for the last 15 years, and stand the fuck up and be proud and be unapologetic and stand up for what you believe, until that happens, we're going to continue to lose. And I can tell you this, if we lose that election next year and Biden wins, America, as we know it, and most of the world is probably done. They're going to try to confiscate the guns. They're going to do unfathomable acts of evil to the American people that resist them. We're talking about jail. We're talking about quarantine. We're talking about possible execution. We're talking about exile. We're talking about complete removal of the opposition from society. And that's not conspiracy theory. These are Bolshevik communists. These people have operated for a long time. If you go read about Bolsheviks and look at what their standard MO is, they remove the opposition the second that they get the power. People who call for tolerance only like tolerance and call for tolerance until they're in control. Then they don't believe in tolerance anymore. They believe in execution of their political opponents. And what they're doing to Trump is just the very, very, very tiny tip of the iceberg. They're going to come for every motherfucker that ever stood against them at scale. So you should be worried and you should be nervous and you should be scared. And it should scare your ass off the fucking couch and get engaged and doing the shit that's legal in your neighborhood to make sure that people are fucking voting.
It's real shit, man. Guys, jump in on these comments. Hashtag BMails. Let us know. But with that being said, that was our third and final headline. It is time, as always, for our final segment of the show. Thumbs up or dumb as fuck. That's where we bring a headline in, we talk about it, and it'll get one of these two options. So with that being said, our thumbs up or dumb as fuck headline reads, Michigan police officer saves baby's life during traffic stop. I thought this was pretty fucking cool. Got the video for you. Breitbart article, let's dive into it. During a traffic stop, a Michigan police officer saved the life of a baby in a speeding Camaro who was not breathing. The frantic driver of a Chevrolet Camaro was going between 75 and 80 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone near 12 Mile and Schroner in Detroit, Michigan. On the way to the hospital, the Detroit News reported. Here's the video from the local news affiliate.
Police body cam video showing the dramatic moments officers arrive on the scene to save the life of a child who wasn't breathing. Thanks for being here with us for the News at 5. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. It all started with a Warren officer on patrol watching a Camaro fly past him, and then things took a turn. Sean Lay live with a look at this newly released video, but this officer knew what to do, Sean.
Video you need to see to believe. Where the camera is right now, that's basically where the officer is approaching this driver. The driver jumps right out. You'll see this on video. Absolutely hysterical because inside is a baby boy about 18 months old. He is not breathing. As you say, Devin, the officer, he stays calm. He knows exactly what to do. It's all on camera.
We got a baby here dying!
What do you mean? The video is absolutely intense, but the actual event was even more intense. 6 o'clock Tuesday evening, a Camaro flies by a Warren police officer. That officer is on speed and distracted driving patrol. But once he gets to that car, everything changes.
Let me see.
An uncle and a mom of a baby boy, they are panicking. Here's why. The boy is not breathing. He's turning blue. That officer is Brandon Frazier. With the uncle in his face, the officer does not hesitate.
I look inside, there's a child that's clearly having some kind of medical emergency, hands him over to me, spit and all type of saliva around his mouth. Looks like maybe choking. I put him on my forearm and administered a few back blows to him. Had some saliva and I don't know what it was, kind of regurgitate out onto my arm.
He's getting air. He's getting air.
Officer Frazier immediately got that boy breathing again. Here's how. Something, vomit or phlegm from an illness, was keeping him from breathing. A few blows to the back and the boy was breathing again.
It was a big relief for sure. When the child started breathing and you saw that color come back around its lips, you realize something happened here and we're heading in the right direction.
Back here live, Officer Frazier with those quick thinking actions, tapping the boy on his back, getting him breathing again. The other Warren officers who rushed to the scene also, they didn't hesitate, doing the right thing, putting the baby in a squad car, getting the baby to the hospital within seconds right up the road. Guys, we're told that baby is okay tonight. We're live in Warren. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Just incredible, Sean. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so he's been nominated for a life-saving award by his supervisors, and yeah, man.
This is the shit that should be shown about police. When I saw this video, and for those of you that are listening on audio, the little boy and his family happen to be black. The officer is white. And when I see this video, that's what America looks like to me. America, he didn't stop and look at the family and say, oh, it's a black family, I'm not going to help him. Or vice versa. Like, when shit hits the fan, bro, here in America, we got each other's backs. And that's what the we're supposed to be. That's who we are in our hearts. And this is the kind of that should be shown. And I think we could all agree. Would we not watch the news and would we not care about what's going on if they actually told us the good shit that we did?
If it was more of this?
Yeah, but they don't. And the thing is, they don't tell us the good shit that they do because the good shit happens at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 of the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, dude, we think about the message difference. Because, I mean, this is amazing. Obviously, a thumbs up. But think about the messaging difference that it would feel, what it would feel like in the world. Like what culture would feel like if instead of blowing up these big issues and politicizing them for a political reason, for a votes, okay? Instead, they just told the truth about society, like the actual truth. This kind of stuff happens 50 times a day, bro, with police officers across the country. It never gets any attention. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, bro.
Like, dude, think of the anxiety, think of the fear, think of the frustration, think of the division that these people have intentionally created in our culture for their benefit. We, the people, have to get smarter. We have to get over that. And I think it's happening. I think people are realizing that we don't all hate each other and these people are fucking all of us. And I think it's starting to click a little bit. You know, this should have happened in 2020. But the fact that it's starting to happen now is a good sign. But I would like to live in America where these are the kinds of things that we get to see. We get to see the heroic nature of the Americans. We get to see them coming together. We get to see people working together and enjoy. Like, dude, when I go out in public and I'm having a good time, I'm not looking around to see who's black and who's white and who's Asian and who's, like, I don't give a fuck. Do you give a fuck?
No, I mean, I might check for my wallet every now and then. But.
Shut the fuck. You know what I'm saying,
No,
dude.
real shit,
yeah,
man.
nobody gives a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And that's everywhere. Like, that's everywhere, bro. Americans are cool people. And we've been made to hate each other for the benefit of these creepy old mothball smelling motherfuckers. For real. That's real shit, dude.
That's
I'm
real,
sick of
man.
it. And we should all be sick of it.
That's real, man. Well, yeah, obviously thumbs up for that.
Yeah, that was
man.
amazing. And he deserves every award. I love that story.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely beautiful, man. So thumbs up on that, guys.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, Andy, guys, that's all I got.
Yeah, guys. I guess we'll see you here a little later on in the week. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.